Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. Nice, short, and sweet info because we're going to get straight to the BS. Mr. Winters, how you doing this evening, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Papa Paul's good to see you on another beautiful Wednesday evening. And listen, you said it perfectly. Let's get right into it. Sad, but we will be talking about the Miami Dolphins' departure from the playoffs.
You staying warm up there?
It is a balmy and crisp 20, feeling like 10 degrees right now in Philadelphia.
Ah, beautiful weather.
Yes, shirts off.
Let's bring on the campfire man.
Yay, my man.
Let's go.
What's
How
up,
we doing, Tom?
Just getting over this fucking cold.
Me and you both. I still got a scratchy, itchy throat.
Damn, dude, I feel like shit.
He didn't drink enough Patron. That's what it was.
No, I didn't. Mr. Hill Hanlon, how you doing, John?
What's up, guys? How are you? Friends up.
Oh, and Miss Pamela.
Hi.
What's up, Miss Pam?
My fellers.
Where do you guys want to start?
Well, let's go right to the fire. We're going to go right into the game. Let's just go right into it.
I can say this. We were not the only ones who blew our division and blew the first round.
Nope.
The Eagles did the same thing.
Yeah, I went to work today and I looked at all the different fans. Besides, I work with a Kansas City fan, and I'm happy I didn't see my Bills fan yet because I don't even want to see him. But
yeah,
I went into my Steelers fans. Oh, and then Naja said hello. So I wanted to let you guys know that.
Tell her we said hello.
Tell her we said hey.
Yeah, she definitely searched me out today. She made
I bet.
sure of that. But you know what I did mention to her, and I wanted to mention this on the panel, we are going to have whoever wins the Super Bowl, we are going to try to have their super fan and a fan on there the week of. So that whoever wins, we're going to try to have them on that week, that Wednesday. So I told her, I said, listen, you're welcome back anytime. She's like, I would love to come back. So she said she'll look at her schedule and stuff like that. So she'll definitely be joining us again in the future without a doubt. But sad day in Dolphins land, y'all. I mean, our season's done.
Yep, unfortunately.
It sucks. It really sucks.
What's up out there, Papa Smurf? Thanks for joining us on Facebook.
Hey, Papa Smurf. Hello.
And we took the Detroit Lions' place as being the longest tenured team without a playoff win.
Yep, 22 years.
Yep.
Makes me so mad. Oh, it makes me so mad. It should not be. It is what it is, but it should not be.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, you know what? Why don't we go to?
Really good. It should not be.
We're gonna go to Pamela's reel that she sent me.
Yes.
And after it's played, everyone's gonna give their opinion on it. How's that sound?
Let's go.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh, definitely real. Oh, here, watch this. This is definitely real. Look at that. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down for y'all who missed it. Look at number 33. Look at him. He literally slows down and doesn't make the tackle so he can get the first down. Same thing with number 45. Let's look at it again. Number 33, he's running. Watch him. He's running and he just literally pulls on the brakes. Like, no, I want him to get the first down. Number 45 is right there to make the tackle, and he literally stands there and just pushes him. Let's watch it again. Watch number 45. 45 standing right there. Nobody thought he can make the tackle, but no. I'm going to let him go through and just push it. And before y'all say, oh, no, they have rules to protect the quarterback. Well, that guy right there hit him. They could have done the exact same thing before the first down.
Who wants to go first on that?
I just want to say that I re-recorded. I recorded that with my phone, but muted it so that take wasn't out there. I sent y'all the real thing that I was originally sent.
The take that the wording's fine. You know, it's fine because it helps people understand what we're looking at a little bit. You know, and when I saw that during the game, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Why didn't you lay into him? He's running the ball. He's in bounds. He's not trying to slide. The only thing I could think of is maybe for a second they thought he was going to slide. I don't know.
No. And that happened a few times on that drive, right?
Well,
so
I remember
Tom-
that one was so blatant. I remember.
Oh, it was. I wanted to come unglued out of my seat, and I'm so mad. But I don't believe the take that it's the NFL is scripted. I don't believe that. Do I think the referees are highly biased? Yes. Hell yes. I don't think it. I know it. But do I believe it's scripted? No. Are they going to pick two guys that are backups to the backups to throw a game? It ain't going to work. So no, I don't believe that. That didn't make sense to me. And Tom was with me on my stream and the whole time. And I know he heard me and I read his comments and we were both like just livid during that game. And I know y'all were too. You were livid.
What's up, Keith Lamb? How you doing,
Hey,
brother?
Keith.
Yes, somebody's agreeing with us. We were
Yes,
livid.
that's Scout. Yep, he thinks, the Dolphins, and they just stink. Yeah, that's what he says. So have
Tom?
you seen that before? Sorry, I'm going to mute myself. Have you seen that before, Tom, that slowed down like that?
Yeah, I saw it a couple of times. I mean, there's not much to say. It's just the only thing you possibly they could be thinking is that he's going to slide, but it just the effort is just not there all day from either one of them. I mean, we know Duke's a better run stopper than he is a pass player, and that's what Baker gets the most flack for. He's not great in the run, but he's better in the pass. I mean, Duke was just a liability, and they picked it apart immediately. Just go right through the middle, slants, exactly what Miami likes to run. And Miami's defense is such a shell with so many players out in zone, which Vic likes to run. And anytime Vic sent the guys to go forward, you just have just breakdowns through the next two levels. So it's like in basketball when you're setting a pick and you're supposed to switch. These guys are just looking fucking lost. They're just not even looking at all.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I still don't understand the play calling.
Yeah, I don't either.
When you're calling the same play over and over and over again and getting the same results over and over and over again, change the fucking play.
The worst is that it looked like he started to figure it out. Like on the drive that they had the interception on, they started moving the ball. They started doing things a little bit differently. Turnover happens, then you have the touchdown drive. And then halfway through that drive, as you're driving down the field, he started using the bootleg, the play action, rolling them outside, getting guys open space, getting away from the screens, and then everything just stopped. Like
and he went back right to it. And
mind-blowing.
I kept wanting to see more play action. Because that's
we
what
don't
was
run
working.
play action. We run east-west, not north-south. We don't do play action. Listen,
And that's
as
what
far as
kills
I'm
me.
concerned, McDaniel lost the game. McDaniel's game plan sucked. He did the exact same thing this year as he did last year. Great September, great October, good November. December, January fell off, get to the first round, and lose. How do you only score 7 points? This is one of the top supposedly offenses in the league, and you can only score 7 points? That's absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. Where does that fall? McDaniel's shoulders. He is the head coach. He creates the plays. He calls the plays. This is all on him. If he does not go out and get an OC to call the damn plays and get out of it, we're going to be in the exact same situation 1 year from today, talking to each other, saying how we had a good season, 11-6, 12-5, and we got bounced in the first round.
Yeah.
McDaniel is great at creating plays. He is not good at calling them.
Right.
I can't argue with you on that, John. It's been a proven fact.
And the equivalent of what he does in a game, and that game is a perfect example, is like, okay, I accidentally hit myself in the head with a hammer, but I'm going to do it about 10 more times because it didn't hurt me enough the first time. I'm going to pound myself into the hammer with a hammer in the head until I knock myself out, because there was no excuse to continue to do something that did not work repeatedly. And then when we know we're going to lose, when we know the game is out of hand, and we throw a huge pass to Craycraft and it's successful, why didn't we do that before? What did we have to lose?
Well,
we were.
Why are we throwing a 5-yard pass on 4th and 13?
Why?
Why are we not throwing that on first down?
On first down.
I said last week on the show, in order to win this game, everything had to be 3, 5, 7 yards. Get it to the guys who can run with the ball and let them do their thing. Instead, when we're throwing screens 5 yards behind a line of scrimmage, we're pitching it 5 yards behind a line of scrimmage, and then the running back gets 2 yards. Yeah, but he just ran for 7 because he got the ball 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And I agree with you, John. But it's fourth down. You're behind, so you're trying to go for it. Why the hell are you going to throw a short 5-yard pass?
It's McDaniel's play calling. I mean, that's what it comes to. For me, that's what it comes down to. I'm not blaming Tua. I'm not blaming the defense. No, I'm not blaming the wide receivers. I'm blaming the coach. That's where it starts. Yeah. And I have an analogy that I said to a buddy of mine. If you go to your local car dealership and you buy a brand new car, and within a year it starts having problems, and you take it back to the dealership and they go, "Oh, it's a manufacturer thing." Are you mad at the dealership or are you mad at the manufacturer?
I'm mad at the dealership.
No, you're mad at the manufacturer. They're the one that made the car. The dealership only sold it to you.
That's true.
So you're mad at the manufacturer because they put out something that isn't correct,
right?
And they know there's a problem. Well, that's the head coach. He's the manufacturer. Tua is just the car salesman. He's the guy in control of the ball, but he's not the manufacturer. He can only do what he's told.
All right, so here we go. It's my turn. I'm gonna start off from the beginning, and this is the truth. When I seen what I seen at the Buffalo game, kind of gave me an idea what I was going to see in the Kansas City. And that's just me personally. I seen it with my own 4 eyes. I felt that, okay, if this guy didn't have the gall and the testicular fortitude to get us past Buffalo, I don't feel comfortable with him going into a frozen tundra like Kansas City. And I just didn't feel the energy. The energy just was not there. The energy was not. Now, yes, I am not an athlete that has ever played in below temperatures. I don't know how it feels, but I do know how it feels to work in it. So I get it. It was frozen. It was ice cold, but check this out. There's no excuses. We just showed up and we were happy to be there. Those guys put up an effort out there. And John, I fully agree with you 100%. It starts with the coach, but you got to put some blame on Tua as well. And my whole thing is this, and the reason why I'm going to say this is this. Your quarterback is supposed to be your leader. Your quarterback is supposed to sit there and help you do some things. Yo, it just seemed like it just was no oomph. And it wasn't just Tua, it was other players too. It just seemed like it was like, I'm happy to be here. And that's just what it is. And it's sad to say it like that, but that's what I seen it. I was just like, I'm watching. I fell asleep with 5 minutes left. I fell asleep. I was like, it's time to go to bed. And I passed out.
If the players aren't playing, that goes back to the head coach. He's running a sloppy place.
100%. And when I look at that video and I see professional players pull up, I mean, I am not going to say that they thought he was going out of bounds. He was nowhere near the out of bounds line. They pulled up. They literally pulled up. I'm sorry. Like, you get paid to do a job. Yes, the game was over at that time, but never. Why are you pulling up? And I don't know who it was that was closer to the end zone. Do you know who the third player was that actually hit him and took him on?
That's the one with the helmet piece fell off.
I believe it was Elliott.
So how do you feel if you're Elliott and you just walk 2 dudes pull up because you know he saw that and if he didn't right that second, he knew it a minute later. How do you feel? Like, all right, well, I'm going to take him on. It was just as hard for him to take him on. It hurt just as much with the cold or whatever you want to say what the issue was. That is crap. You get paid for that. That's your job. Get out there and do your doggone job.
All I got to say is when it's this fucking cold, it's cold.
Yes.
Everybody's playing in it. All the players.
Yes.
Kansas City was playing in the cold.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying when it's that fucking cold right there, that is fucking cold.
Yeah, but how come the refs didn't take him out? How come they didn't have to use a timeout? The
Oh,
refs
no,
totally
I agree.
blew that.
I agree with you on that.
Now,
That call, the Wilkins call on the roughing the passer, he was out of the pocket. He's now a running back. All he did was push him.
John,
that was a makeup call. That was a makeup call. That was a makeup call from the other call that they gave us. I hear you, but that was a makeup call.
The whining and screaming from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and they were wrong. You know, they were full of crap. They were wrong. And then they don't throw a flag, but the very next play, and it happened not once, but twice. It happened twice. What in the world are we talking about? That game was so bad by referees. When have you ever seen a player have a uniform malfunction and they don't have to come off for a play or take a timeout? That right there. Now, the thing about the NFL being scripted, no. Biased by referees, whether they got money in it, I don't know what they're doing, but it is crap, and I am sick of it. And the number of things that I have seen this season that I have never seen before when the Miami Dolphins were on the field, it's outrageous, and people better get a clue and call the NFL to the carpet.
Well, I'll say this to you: the last three Super Bowl schemes, the teams have matched the color schemes. If it's San Fran against Baltimore in the Super Bowl this year, you might want to wake up to that theory that something really is going on. Because
Vegas is controlling money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So, because I'll be honest with you. You guys want me to be honest with you? I would love the black sheep, like the Detroit Lions, to be the ones that knock out the San Francisco 49ers.
Houston. Give me Houston.
What's up, Shake?
What's going on?
What's up, Shake? How you doing, Shake?
What's going on, guys?
It's a little quieter than Sunday afternoon.
That's
yeah. I could not get on here Sunday. I was too mad.
Oh no, that's you
understandable, brother.
Totally
Listen,
understandable. There, you don't have to say it. We all were, but it was if you didn't go back and watch the show, it got out of control for a bit.
No, you think?
I booted him off for a bit.
Was that you booted Papa Paul?
Big Nick.
Oh. No, I listened. I was there.
But he apologized and everything was cool. And that was the main objective. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I'm fine with that. But I mean, he came on there, as you know, winners. The way he came out was pointing fingers at everybody on the panel.
He came in hot.
Yeah.
I called him out on it.
Right.
He came in hot. I told him to chill. You know, it got out of hand. He sat there, got upset. He came back. He apologized. We talked. And the way I feel like is this. Everybody's going to have different emotions, and I understand that. And
it's like Shake said, point blank. If you don't like what someone's saying on this channel, go to another channel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, especially since we have so many right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it was just a farce, and I mean, you got to blame McDaniel for it all because we had a 3-game lead and he blew every bit of it.
Absolutely. How does our offense go from being so good in the beginning of the year to scoring 14 against Buffalo and 7 against Kansas City? Are you kidding me?
Predictable. That's why.
Right, exactly. Too predictable. The coaches
Well,
calling the same. I'm sitting here watching my TV and I know what play they're running. If I can watch the TV and they line up and I know what they're running, don't you think the defensive coordinator on the other team knows what's going on?
And
Absolutely.
exactly like I said, stop running the ball. And you said it earlier, John. Stop running the fucking ball east and west.
North and south is football is played north and south, not east and west.
East and west.
And you know what really pissed me off, and I hate to say it, but you know what it started to remind me of? The Adam Gase years.
Oh,
Screen pass, screen pass, screen pass, screen pass. Adam Gase, the game is played north and south, not east and west.
right.
And that's what I'm sitting here watching the game. I'm like, this is like watching Adam Gase's offense.
So we're not using
when they're pitching the ball to the running back, pitch it to him as he's going forward, not when he's still moving backwards somewhat.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, when I was calling the game with El Capitan, one of the comments I made was, I think Mike McDaniel, under his couch cushions, found Adam Gase's playbook and started using it.
Yes.
It very well could be. But I wanted to go back to the Big Nick thing just for a minute. I was listening. I only had like a little bit of time. I was traveling from my house to my mom's house. I had stuff going on, but I was upset with him the way he came in, but I understand, and I was proud of you guys, winners like you. You totally kept your cool and shake your comment. Y'all's comments were excellent. You handled it so well, and I was so proud of you. And I understand Big Nick's like upset. I get it.
Yeah, I understand that people don't
But he
like
didn't
hearing
need to come
negative talk, but
to
we weren't
my
talking about
guys.
the whole year. We were talking about that game.
Yeah.
And he came in blowing in that we were talking negative when we should be happy for the year we had.
Yeah.
There's two different things going on.
Well,
No, I was happy in September, October, November.
Yep. And even December,
Even
3
part
and
of
2,
December.
although the Buffalo crap was just crap. Oh,
I'll say this.
No,
Go ahead.
I was not happy in December. Lose to the Titans, score
No, that
14
was
against
terrible.
Buffalo.
yeah.
Then we score 7 against Kansas City. Come on. How do we go from scoring 30, 35, 40 points a game to 14 or less?
Because we stopped doing what got us there.
10. Right?
Yeah.
What was it?
You stopped doing what helped us be an explosive offense. Guess what? You're not going to be the explosive offense. How do you not involve these guys? Why do you wait till late in the fourth quarter to throw something to Craycraft?
Joe Scherer out there on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, brother.
What up, Joe? Yeah,
What's
we were
up, Joe?
balanced, I mean, most of the year, and then you get to the last 3-4 weeks, and you have like 7 carries, 9 carries, 11 carries. Like that's not going to cut it. And
That's not
especially
gonna
what
cut
you're
it.
saying when he's running these outside zones. When there's 5 down linemen and 3 linebackers, you got 8 stacked the box. You can't go up the middle. That's when he's calling a dive and a counter is when you got 8 in the box. And it's like, okay, well, now we're second and 9. Okay, we'll do a screen, 3rd and 13. Okay, we'll do a 3-yard dig.
I mean,
What
I
are
know
you doing, Mike?
I mean, I know in the beginning of the year there wasn't much, but there
Right.
were some play action passes done in the beginning of the year.
Paul, I'll say this to you. Kansas City took the middle of the field away from us. We did not have the middle of the field to work with at all. That's the majority of passes that Tua throws to is in the middle or on the outside. And
The other thing was you had free swingers, free hitters. You had guys coming just through the lane. Like our tackles didn't even go to block because you had an end, a corner, a linebacker, and they're just looking fucking lost in there.
Right.
We looked stupid. And for the most part, the defense did pretty well.
No, they
I
did.
thought kept us in
Red
the
zones look
game.
great.
I
it
agree. The
wasn't-
defense did keep us in the
30
game.
to 30 was trash, but from the red zone in, fantastic.
It
It's
was
'cause they couldn't use
great.
those slants across the middle of the field because Rice was just fucking killing us.
But it was,
Which is
we didn't look stupid. It was Mike that looked stupid.
Yeah, but it reflects on the Dolphins, and
goes on number
it
one.
reflects all
It can't. It reflects more on Mike because he's the
It
one
does.
who's doing all the playing calling.
Of course.
Well, do you remember Mike's press conference at the end of last season? I'll learn from my mistakes and we will be better.
And he
Yes. Yeah, he said,
We
that
had
we won't
basically
go
the
back
same
to the run.
season. We had basically the same season 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Collapse
The
at the end of the
difference-
year, losing the first round, don't run the ball late in the year.
Yep.
I mean, it was almost a mirror, except we won 11 games.
And the only thing different besides that is that we did not have no big losing streaks.
Well, and
Right.
the players. So Tua was in the whole season. That was a difference. But what did it net us?
This is
One game?
This is where I
Two
said
games,
a
actually,
few
so.
times.
Okay, 2, yeah.
We all prayed that Tua would stay healthy for the whole season, which
Yeah.
happened. But none of us expected half the team to be injured or lose players for the year throughout this season.
Okay.
Well, and I agree with that. But I looked at it like when we got to December, Mike started calling the game plan, said it Tua wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Yep,
But-
way too conservative.
Hey, Cap for life. Hey, out there, buddy.
Well, you know what? Not only way too conservative, he left people in too long when we were losing our attitude.
Well, so here's something I've been saying for 3 years or more. Is why do we have so many injuries? That it has to go back to the conditioning or something, because the amount of injuries, it's a ridiculous number of injuries. And I know we have some guys that have typically had injuries throughout their career, but we also have other guys who typically have not.
Yeah,
And
well,
we're just decimated.
Let's let
So I
Rivers go.
listened to McDaniel and Chris Greer's press conference a couple days ago.
Mhm.
And that was a question that a reporter did ask, and they said they have one of the best strength conditioning crews in the league, and he said no, that is not going to change. So you must have read my mind, and you must have read that reporter's mind, because you mentioned that earlier in a few episodes before, and that question was definitely asked, knowing the fact of the players that did get hurt this year.
And all in all, the strength and conditioning coach, one of the strength and conditioning coaches, has been the longest tenured coach there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been there since he was there before Adam Gase.
Yeah, he was there since 2006.
And maybe he's not doing a good job.
See, I have a hard time believing that. Phillips' injury had nothing to do with strength and conditioning. It was the turf. Van Ginkel's, Holland was the turf. Van Ginkel was, bad luck. Listen, you're going to have guys get injured. It's part of the game. It's a brutal game. You look at any roster, guys.
And I agree with you, John. I agree with you. But what gets me, I don't remember this year, but I know last year at the beginning of the year, there was either 16 or 18 before our first game, before our first official game. There were 16 or 18 people on the injury list.
Yep.
I'll add on to that also. For somebody that does work out on a regular, everyday basis, Pam, you got to remember on an everyday, regular basis, we walk about a good 10,000 steps a day. We walk up steps. We do strenuous stuff. It could be the slightest turn. We can injure ourselves just like that. And you got to remember that these men are sitting there putting twice the stress, the 3 times the stress on the body than what we're putting. So with that being said, you got to understand their muscles and tendons are getting worked twice as much as our muscles and tendons are being worked at. You got to understand that. So at any given time, just like that, it doesn't mean that it wasn't conditioned right or it wasn't strengthened right or they wasn't. It could happen. It just can happen due to the turf, due to a wrong turn. It can happen.
Well, so what I want to tell you is, as a ballet teacher, as a dance teacher, my entire life, my job was not only technique train. Listen, if you don't understand dance, if you don't understand if you've ever looked at a ballet dancer, you have never seen a more fit person in your entire life.
I agree.
Right. Well, I got Joe Sears said this, that Dave Palaka has been there since 2006, not 2016.
Oh, wow.
He's been there since he's the longest. Dave Palaka is the longest tenured coach.
Nice. Yeah.
For Miami Dolphins, and he's a strength and conditioning coach. I know that because I've looked it up because I actually have one of his. I have a team shirt that was his that I got picked up at the yard sale.
So
he has it. It's not going back to the strength and conditioning coach necessarily. You know, you're saying he's been there a lot longer than 2016.
So if I can just explain this. So
Good night,
as a dance teacher, I'm not just technically training them, but it is strength and conditioning, and it is in a certain way so they don't get injured. And so there are certain things that help to make you stronger and keep you from getting injured. And it's a basic education of, like, you know, in my field, I know what my field is. They should know what their field is. And are we more susceptible to the turf or being unlucky than all the other teams year after year after year?
There's been,
but let me ask you this, Pam. Are the other ballet dancers getting tackled by the other ballet dancers?
Actually, that's probably happened a few times. And it's not, you have to understand, it's not about being tackled or whatever.
It is.
No,
when you're being tackled and your body is being twisted, whether you're the tackler or the guy being tackled, bodies are flying around. Body parts are flying around. An arm can come out, a leg, you can get stepped on, you can get twisted. It's a totally different, not to downplay what your girls do, because it's phenomenal. They're great athletes, but they're not being hit. They say the average tackle is like a 30-mile-an-hour car crash, and they do that over and over and over and over again during a game.
I understand that there's basic differences. It's not the same, but it is the same. It is in that, like, if you understand, for example, something like a grand jeté, where you are 5-6 feet or more off the ground and you are landing down on the ground, and it is a constant pounding. I'm telling you, there are basic things about physical strength and conditioning for what you're doing. So I understand that it's a difference in a different kind of sport, but I'm also telling you that I don't think you guys understand the degree of pounding that a body takes from a dancer.
Really? You want to see the stars?
Hold on, I got you. Hold on. From somebody that's a street dancer that taught themselves how to dance, that sat there and done capoeira kicks, that spent 260 pounds and can flip my body up in the air and land. I understand where you're coming from, Pam, but you got to understand where John is coming from also. And I understand where you're coming from.
Wait. Completely different.
Understand that. So you got to understand they both start at literally. You got to talk. Ballet dancers start from what, 3-4 years old, all the way up. You got to wait. Now you got Pee Wee League guys, Pee Wee League football players that start at 5-6 years old.
Right.
You got to understand the body is still taking a pounding, both sides, all the way through life. Learning, your body is still maturing through that, still taking a pounding on both sides. So I understand where you're coming from, Pam. I understand where John is coming from also. So,
I understand what he's saying. I just
So there's nobody taking any credit away from what you know. I'm not taking any credit.
I'm not taking that personally at all.
What it has to but the severity is, we all know. For me, I'm that brain. I'm into a whole bunch of different shit that's a whole nother conversation. But I get what you're saying, but football wise, we know for a fact that CTE body parts, all that. These guys, ain't no pillows out there. They getting
The
creamed.
CTE is a totally different thing. I agree with that.
But,
That is
but
completely
what
different.
I'm saying to you, Pam, is it's still stress. The same type of stress that your girls and men in ballet deal with, lifelong injuries and all that. It's the same thing with the NFL players, and it's rough with them NFL players too. They can be healthy in one moment, just like that. That's it.
And at the end of the day, to your point, like for instance, you take a professional dancer who's been dancing all their life, they're gonna have more susceptible to joint pain, hip pain when they get older versus your average person, because they had so much wear and tear in those body parts. But what I'm like I said, it's nothing like getting tackled and landing wrong on your neck or your ankle, or you know what I'm saying.
You've never been in a ballet
like
class.
you said, that Jalen Phillips, that was a non-contact issue too.
So was
Yeah.
Chubb. So was
I
Chubb.
just-
Non-contact.
Non-contact.
I just think that I remember, I think it was not this past off season, but the one before. And there was some things out there about how we were doing some different strength and conditioning training than anybody, and it had to do with the I want to say like the bicyclists. What is it, like the cross country?
Triathletes,
That kind of thing. And
triathletes.
they brought in some different things, and I thought, okay,
Right.
well, they're looking at it, right? They're paying attention to it. So I don't know what happened to that, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but I feel like we have more injuries than the average team, especially earlier in the season, right? I mean, by the end of the season, you see people falling left and right, that kind of thing, but it just seems like more attention could be paid to that, and maybe they need to shake it up a little bit.
And don't we forget? I think we forget that these men are. We forget that they are human beings. Like, I think we are really forgetting right now that they are human beings. So I understand, I respect everything that you're saying right now, but we forget that they have everyday lives off of that football field, 60 minutes, and plus they got to deal with a whole bunch of stuff that we'll never know about. So we got to keep that in perspective first and foremost. And what happens with that is, like I said, these men are training just like your ladies, like the men in ballet and women in ballet. They train hundreds and thousands of hours to try to get to that next level. And I get it. So here's the thing, like I said, the body is going to be a wear and tear regardless. It doesn't matter how many ice baths, eating, massage, whatever. A body eventually is going to break down unless you're LeBron James paying $1 million a year on your body. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Period.
Well, you know, so most people, myself, and I'm sure you guys included, work year round, right? So whatever your job is, you have to do whatever you have to do to keep that job and whatever it is it takes from you, whether it's mental, physical, both, whatever, year round. So this is their job, right? So year round, like the rest of the world, they need to focus on whatever they have to do. And I mean, me as a dance teacher, I mean, I made really good money an hour. Okay. But compared to these guys, I mean, if you're going to play at a level like this and you're going to be one of the few people in the world that get to have this privilege, because think how many high school, college, all these people that would love to have this privilege. It requires more of you. You get more for it, but it requires more of you. So I don't know what the answer is, but I feel like the strength and conditioning needs to be looked at. At least take a look.
I got a quick question here that's a little bit different, change the subject a little bit. What do y'all think on the rumor about the word fins up?
That just pisses me off.
Listen, they can do whatever they want. They can't stop us from saying it.
No, I know.
100%, John.
So who cares? So
Where
the
did this
Dolphins,
start?
the Dolphins can't use it. We can.
There's been no things, but supposedly the Dolphins cannot print any more stuff with the words fins up because Margaritaville has
New location planned or something like that.
no, they have the copyright to
copyright.
fins up. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they're gonna open up a new spot though with it being used.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fins
Okay,
up.
but listen,
But
I can go get shirts
they're-
made up to say fins up.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's we
Papa
have
Paul,
too.
you
Yeah.
have shirts. Yep.
Peace, love, and fins up.
Yep.
You know.
So one thing I'd like to ask a couple questions. Does anybody know where the term started? Because
Yes.
I didn't think it started with the actual Miami Dolphins.
It started with Jimmy Buffett and his song.
Oh, fins to the left, fins to the right. Blah,
Yes,
blah, blah.
and it actually because Jimmy Buffett and Ross were good friends and stuff.
I
Those
could have
land
sworn
sharks
you
since
said
Jimmy-
fins up.
Sponsorships.
Since Jimmy
Say
Buffett
that again,
died, go ahead, Tom.
When it was Land Shark Stadium, they had the contract with Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville.
Yeah,
Right.
but since Jimmy Buffett died, the corporation Margaritaville is now because the copyright was done back in 2012. Margaritaville is now pressuring on the copyright.
Well, I can say for one
Ross
thing.
has enough money. Go buy the damn copyright from him.
So
Pretty much.
that or for me, and I'm sure they're going to call me up because they're going to be so upset. I won't be going to Mark. It's like, oh no, Pam, you've been there once ever. Okay, so sorry you're not coming. We'll give it up. But I don't even understand. That seems so stupid to me, like a business decision. You know, you're going to piss off how many people that are probably a lot of your customers.
No
I
one's
don't
going
get
to
it.
be pissed off because they, like John said, they can't stop us from saying it and using it. You know, but I want to go.
And does the pH matter?
No, the PH is
Shouldn't.
Because
pH, using the pH is
fins up
fine.
is
Using the
the
pH is fine. But if the company wanted to be a real asshole about it, they could say it's the same thing, just spelled differently.
but it's different.
Still
So-
different.
Hmm.
I
It's different.
understand, but copyright infringements,
Well, if they only copyright
depending how the copyright is written.
right,
Sure.
if they
Is
only
it-
copyrighted FINS, the Dolphins can sit there and copyright PHINS, and we're good.
But
And we're good.
and that's true. But at the same time, they can still take it to court and do all the battling they want, and it'll be a long, drawn-out battle of bullshit and money spent. And the only one who's going to make money are the lawyers.
Lawyers.
And Ross
lawyers.
has plenty of lawyers on retainer to
Yes,
go
lawyers
sit
look
in
clean.
court and do it.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
does. That's right. Yeah.
But, and that's what I was saying to myself earlier. Well, we just use pH.
I'm not with that. I've been using pH from God knows
I
how
always do.
Me too.
Well, I do it
Yeah.
both ways. I do it both ways.
No, I always use pH.
Who does anyone feel like talking about the playoffs themselves?
No, because
Yeah.
I don't care now.
Yes.
No,
I-
we don't even feel good enough to do it.
I got
Ooh,
plenty of
everybody.
opinions about that.
Fuck
I don't care
everybody,
who
always
wins.
do
I don't
things
care
up.
who goes to the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn if it's
Well,
two teams that finish first, second, third, fourth. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a damn anymore.
Actually, my Super Bowl, it will be when Buffalo loses. That's my Super Bowl.
That's
Yeah.
my Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
well,
I
I
agree.
but
They ain't
I
losing
gotta,
this week, so
I gotta
I
agree
don't
with
know.
what I gotta agree with what Winner said earlier. If 49ers and Baltimore goes, it's something to look at because the colors have been picked.
Right.
So,
Well,
supposedly they changed those about a month and a half ago. They came out with a different one.
Hey, hooked up, Joe.
Yeah, they came out with a couple alternates.
What's a new one?
Welcome in.
Blue and something. Blue and
that's
blue and red.
Wait, is it a light blue or a dark blue?
It's a royal.
The one I saw was a darker blue, a royal blue.
You already know what that means.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Tom and I were talking about that on the way to Baltimore.
Buffalo, San Fran.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Chris Berman's dream is finally going to come true?
Yeah. Well,
we'll see. They came out with a couple alternates because people started catching on to the colors. It's been more than 3 years. It's just easier to talk about the last 3.
It's been a lot more than 3 years. Yeah.
Hey, listen, if they put the one out next year and it's got aqua in it, I won't be mad then.
Yes, sir.
There you go. I don't see it happening, but
Me neither, but
they're the best colors in the NFL. We just have to face that.
You know what's funny, Pam, that you said that? I have had friends of mine. They said, look, we might not be Dolphin fans, but y'all got the sickest colors in the NFL. And I said, thank you.
Tom, what do I tell everybody when we go to a different city?
What's up, Crypto?
What's up?
Hey, Crypto.
We're in Baltimore.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, what's going on? Hey, everybody.
What's going on? We're in Baltimore. And people are like, man, I really like your colors. I'm like, yeah, we just came to brighten up your city.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, you was at the Baltimore game too?
Oh yeah, it was a Philly, Baltimore, LA, MetLife, and 8 of the 9 home games.
John has
good
been
deal. I was at that game
over.
too. Good deal.
So,
well, I want opinions on who we're keeping, who we're letting go.
Here we go. Shake started off. Shake.
No, don't do it, Shake.
Yep, Christian Wilkins is gone.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, that's the damn dumbest thing we could possibly do.
Wait. I'm gonna keep it a being with you. As much as me and Shake we've been talking about this since preseason, and as much as me and him went back and forth, Shake is my man. As much as we want to keep him, we're not going to be able to afford to keep him. We have other things that we need to get.
Well, what we need to do is tag them,
MCJB?
not the franchise tag, but the other one, and let somebody make an offer and then get their first pick. And it's going to be
the transition tag, yeah.
It's going to be somebody late, 23, 25, 27 pick, but that'll give us 2 first rounders in the 20s. You can package them, move up. You can trade one of them and move back and get a couple more picks.
Because, he was already offered a good deal and he didn't want to accept it.
Well, he bet on himself and he won.
Yeah. I know.
Got 9.5 sacks. Got a couple strips during the season. He played balls 100%. Out. He started to run pretty well.
Had the
better numbers. But we got better numbers than someone with 13 million or less.
What trifecta was that?
It was
the strip sack fumble recovery.
The strip and fumble recovery. The trifecta.
He shrunk in the biggest moments we ever had.
No, he didn't shrink. I didn't think he shrunk.
The only thing he was good at was stripping people's towel away from them. That's it, pretty much it.
I thought that was
I don't know why you have hatred towards him, but it's funny.
MCJB, we're not drafting any tight ends.
He doesn't. He likes to stir the pot with
Brock
me.
Bowers would be nice.
Well, I just think you cannot say.
I'm not saying it
that
wouldn't be
we
nice,
need
but I don't see them drafting a tight end, Tom.
I mean, no, I'm just saying it would be nice.
If you look at the playoff teams that are left and look at the tight ends that are in the league, who's in the playoffs?
I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm just saying
McDaniel needs to open up his eyeballs and say, I love Shanahan's system and I improved it for myself, but they all use good big tight ends that can catch.
Good, strong tight end. And
I tell you,
we have a decent tight end. We just don't use him. Smythe is a decent tight end. He catches that ball, and I like Smythe. And why are we not using him?
Hill is not that bad either. And
Hill's pretty good too. We just don't use them. How can they be?
They don't use them.
Last
I mean,
season,
they're not.
Smythe had the highest percentage catch ratio. Now, he didn't have a lot of touches towards him, but his percentage was higher than anybody else on the team.
Well, yeah, when you
just a
when you only
fact.
get thrown to 20 times and you catch 17 of them, yeah.
But it's a ratio. Like he can't catch more balls that don't come to him.
Right, but you
know.
can't compare that to throwing 150 to Tyreek.
But if it's a ratio, it's a ratio. And Tyreek dropped balls that he should have had that were straight up in his hands.
Oh,
There's
everybody
no
does.
denying it.
Every receiver has drops. If you go back and look, every great receiver in the league has had drops. Jerry Rice dropped the ball. He didn't catch everything that was thrown his way.
But-
Mark Clayton and Mark Duper, OJ McDuffie, Troy, any
don't talk
of the
about
guys.
them now.
Everybody
Don't-
drops balls. It
don't.
happens. It's not intentional. They don't go out there saying, I'm going to drop this when it happens. They're human.
Don't you feel like though that he dropped
It seemed at the end of the year, yes, it was more than he was dropping earlier.
and
You know,
what
maybe,
he should have.
maybe it was the ankle problems. Maybe it was, I don't know, but think about it. Where would this team be without Tyreek for the year?
Oh no, nowhere. I mean, he absolutely especially when all the plays are going to him. I mean, I definitely you got to give Tyreek credit. I'm giving him all the credit in the world. He's an amazing player, probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. But when I think the fact that we're so single-minded, I mean.
That comes back to the
play
coach.
Calling. Yeah, that's
the coach.
100%. But that
I think McDaniel got it stuck in his head when Tyreek said he wanted 2,000. McDaniel got it stuck in his head that he was going to do everything he could to get him to 2,000.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I'd like to see.
So frustrating.
I'd like to see Tyreek 1,500 yards, Waddle 1,000 yards, somebody else with 500-600 yards, somebody else with 300-400 yards. Spread the ball around.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, and
What's up, Raphael?
hey, Raphael, was wondering where you were. Glad you made it in. So,
there's other players, talk about getting and stuff. I think we need to look at some middle linebackers and stuff. I mean, keep what we can on the defense.
say TP.
But pick a couple others up. But our offensive line, it's like we were talking earlier. They made our offensive line work for Tua to give him the 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds that he needed to throw balls when we need an offensive line to give him 4, 5, 6 seconds.
Right.
But I'm going to applaud. Go ahead, finish, Paul.
I was going to say, we don't have an offensive line that is big enough and good enough to do that.
I agree.
And I'll tell you what, our defensive line standing next to Kansas City's line, Kansas City's line is huge.
Right.
Oof. Our defensive lineman standing next to Kansas City's offensive line, I'm like, damn, they got some big boys on that offensive line.
John, it was the same thing with Philly when we were watching the Philly game side by side, bro. You could see the difference.
Kelsey's only 6'2". I mean, he's not 6'2", 280, but he's strong, he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made him so good. Is he the greatest athlete on their line? No, but he's very smart.
But he's very smart.
Very smart.
And that's why last year when he was a free agent, I was like, there's our center. That's the center we need.
Yeah, he wasn't leaving Philly, bro.
Yeah,
I know that. But I'm just saying.
That is, yeah.
And he's probably he would have been great to have.
Oh, absolutely.
But he's probably retiring this year.
He is retiring.
That's what he said.
He hasn't announced it yet. But he said he's not trying to make it dramatic. He's not trying to draw it out. But he said when the time is right, he's going to make the announcement. So,
well, he's got to go home and talk to the wife and see what she says.
Absolutely.
Well, I think she wants him to retire.
She didn't want him to come back this year.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
They got three little girls at home. She wants him home with the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a ring. He got the first ring in the history of the city. So what else more? I mean, I know you wanted to get another one, but what else more? That team is cemented in Philadelphia history. Period.
Yep.
And yeah,
And he's one of the best centers to play the game in the last 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
he's a real good player. Definitely a really good player. One thing though, that's another thing. As much as the Dolphins got screwed by the refs, I think Philly got gifts by the refs, and it's the reason why when those gifts didn't come as often, they started being exposed. They were exposed. They weren't that great. You could see that they were going to lose. I picked Philly to lose. I picked Tampa Bay to win that game.
I'll admit I picked Tampa to win too.
Yeah, and
So did I. They were home.
you
Yeah.
could see that
That was the only game I
Cowgirls
beat a
were gonna
crypto in.
lose.
Mhm.
I'll
could
say this,
see-
man. What happened with
Well,
Philly was
they had offensive coordinators problems. Eventually,
Yeah.
that was the main issue. Continuity at
it
the
was
offensive
a
coordinators.
whole crypto. It was a whole shit show here, bro. And I can tell you right
Yeah.
now, don't be surprised. It's a
It wasn't
whole
the
different
same.
coaching staff. Don't be surprised. It's
Yeah.
going to be. I would not be surprised if Sirianni gets fired as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. And now
I heard
Yes.
a rumor today
I'd
about.
love to
I heard a
see
rumor
them.
Yes,
about
they
today
will.
that Bill Belichick might go there.
they don't want. All right, so the
Yep.
rumor's false. They
Hold
don't
on,
want
no,
Belichick's
Belichick
going
there.
everywhere.
They already said. Lurie said he don't want nothing to do with Belichick, and that came from the presses. So
Well,
that's
Mhm.
that's
I,
false.
Okay.
I
They
know
don't
with
want the chief
Belichick,
there.
Chargers
don't-
Chargers
Yeah,
can't
they'll move
afford
off
him.
their coach in a heartbeat.
Chargers
Yeah, they
can't
moved off
afford
Peterson.
Belichick. So I think Belichick might go to Atlanta.
Well, we
Atlanta,
saw that,
Yeah,
but
full
also
Chargers.
Dallas.
Chargers won't
Sydney.
pay for him. Chargers are too cheap. Chargers are too cheap. They will not pay for him.
Harbaugh is
Listen,
going to the
it's the
Chargers.
rumor mill, just like
Harbaugh
every
could go to
offseason
the
with everybody
Chargers,
that's
but
coming to Miami.
he also interviewed in Atlanta too.
Mhm.
Harbaugh did.
Well,
Atlanta's looking hard.
let's face it. Belichick ain't really looking for a big payday. He's got, what the
No.
hell is he
Yeah.
gonna do?
He's chasing wins.
He's not motivated by the money. He just wants to get those 17 wins.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's chasing wins. Which cracks me up
that's his
because
only
Shula
goal.
never chased it. He just did it. When
He did.
Shula left, he could have gone somewhere else. He was like,
Yeah,
"No,
he
I've had a
could've
great
if he
career. I've
wanted.
had a great life. I'll
Mhm.
see you later. I'm done."
And
He was a
good
Dolphin
point,
for life.
John. Such a good job. Oh, such a good point.
But Shula didn't
Once a
chase the
Dolphin,
wins.
he was
Belichick
always
is
a
chasing
Dolphin.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made sure our franchise was the last he'll ever coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was good. Well,
He
I
could have
just,
went somewhere else if he wanted to.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
what I'm
another
saying,
team
say-
would have hired him.
Oh,
Oh, of
absolutely.
course.
Shula
Yes.
could have walked into any
They would've.
organization and needed a head
Anywhere he
coach, and they
wanted.
would have been like, "Yes."
and wrote his
Yep.
own ticket. Yep.
Yep. Hell, he could have went to the Lions. You know?
What was he ever going to
That would
do
have been crazy.
again that he did with the Dolphins? He was never going to be able to beat what he did with the
Well,
Miami Dolphins.
That
ever.
when he left, he said, I need to spend time with my family, my children, my grandchildren, his wife." You know, he's like,
And great.
they
He's got great
put up with
grandkids
me
now.
being in the NFL for
Yeah.
50 years. It's time
Yeah,
for me to
well,
give back to them and spend time
real
with them.
quick, real
Yeah.
quick.
Hey,
I
as a
wanna-
matter of fact, his grandson is the linebackers coach for the Rams.
Is that
real
right?
quick because
Yes, his grandson. Yeah, you're right, Shake. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, because
His grandson
Crypto
is the
got in here
linebackers
late.
coach.
I want to hear Crypto's take on our playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
It was terrible. I mean,
He
I
wants to
didn't
extend to it.
like it was so bad.
Okay,
My
who
whole
do
whole
you
thing
blame?
that I've adopted that we're permanently in purgatory until we can get out of it.
Who do
Yeah.
you
We're in an
blame?
endless loop. That's what I'm saying.
Who do you blame, Crypto? Who do you blame for the game?
All the game is solely on Tua and the offense. As far as the game itself, yes. As far as how the game played out, I would say that. I blame the quarterback and the offense combined, collectively.
Well, see, most of us blame the coach and his play calling.
I don't think so because of when the plays were called, there were people and open and the plays to be made within the the plays that were called.
But
So I don't say once a play call get in there, it's up to the offense to execute. That's just what
well, okay. What about the
what went on.
7-8 times the play was called and we got nowhere with it, and he kept calling the play?
Well, the players have to execute those several plays. He calls a certain series of plays. It's still up to the players, because the coach, once they call it, the players have to run the play.
Yeah, but at the same,
But
I
if the
understand
coach has
that.
put him in a position where they're not going to succeed.
He's not running plays where receivers are running into each other or running. Right. He's designing plays where the receivers are running in open space, and we're not getting the ball to those receivers that's running in open space.
But at the same
Mike
time,
McDaniel can't do nothing at that
why do we
point.
keep trying to run the ball east and west when we should be running it north and south?
And the swing.
No, because that's you got to remember that's within the system.
Screen
Papa
pass
Paul.
over and
The
over.
West Coast offense goes that way. It's
I understand,
systematically
but it
the West Coast
wasn't
offense
working.
goes east and west.
It didn't
don't
work
go
the whole
north and
last
south
5
with the ball.
games.
It hasn't been working at all the last 5 games at all.
It stunk.
Well,
It stunk so bad.
But it's credit to the opponent as well. I mean, the opponent.
Then the
earns a
head
paycheck
coach,
too.
the offensive coordinator, needs to make adjustments because the defense knows what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Yes, but
And
once the play is called, they're not totally shutting down all of our plays. Sometimes our plays are stopped because we're not making a proper read or making a proper cut in the lane when the running back get the ball. So even if it's a running play, there's a hole to be. If there's an open lane for a running back to run through and he don't run through it, then that's not on the coach. That's on the running back or the players involved.
No,
It's not just necessarily passing. It could be running. Well, the running backs are not running in the right holes that's opened up for them. See, the coach can only do so much. He only can call the play. Once the called play is in there and the defense don't totally blow it up, then the players got to go out and execute the play.
And I understand that, and I'll agree with you somewhat, but I still blame the coach for a lot of it. I mean, I'm putting the blame on both the coach and Tua, because Tua had time to try and figure out how to throw that ball in that cold weather, and some of the throws he was making weren't even throws. I mean, so it's. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to disagree with you. Let's just leave it at that. But that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it.
Yeah, I've never given anybody 100% because I'm a person that's anti-absolute. So it's a certain percentage of assignment of the blame.
And
I don't say it's 100% the coach or 100% the players. It's like a 60-40 or a 65-35 type split with me. That's how I assign it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot.
I don't
agree with that. Yeah,
completely with that. But
What'd you say, Pam?
I don't disagree completely with that. I'm a little. I probably assign a little more the other way, just because not only is it the play call, but who touches the ball. So if you're not calling somebody's number, if you're not putting Craycraft out there earlier in the game, if you're not putting Berrios out there and letting him get the touches, if you're not giving it to Ingold or Smythe, if you're not doing those things, then the players can't execute something that they're not involved in. So
exactly like John said earlier, when you're pitching a ball out to the running back and he receives the ball 5 yards behind the start,
behind the line of scrimmage.
And he runs for 7 yards, but he only gained 2.
Right.
It's.
And we did it over and over and over. And the thing is, it's like John said, like you got to make adjustments because, okay, so this didn't work 5 times. Why do it 5 more times and 5 more times after that? Just for goodness sakes, change it up. The things that made our offense amazing was
but you don't think it's a mix run pass where it may be a pitch left versus pitch right, or
Pedro, what's up, my brother?
They back up and throw.
Pedro.
What's up, Pedro?
I got to say, I think we talked about it before. I think there was only maybe 5 run plays the whole second half of this last game.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
Well, we were down at that point, so it was more like
But
the fastest way to cut that deficit is through the air.
Yeah,
but,
both on paper and you read them.
when you can't get through the air, and the run did you a lot of good in the first half, why not keep doing the run?
At least through the third quarter, right? Like what I mean,
Because in the first 2 plays of the game was a run, and it was barely 1 yard on each one.
But we were still
It was
doing
getting
more
stuffed.
we were still doing better when they ran it up the middle. We were getting runs up the middle. When we were going to the outside, we were getting stuffed.
they had a lot of.
Yeah, but see,
you
it's a
got to account for that.
but it's more of a chess match. I look at it this way because of who we got on our roster. The opponent is going to always respect the pass first because of the speed threat of our wide receivers. They don't care if they get gashes against them or against the run. They're going to always be defending the pass by default. So they're going to allow those runs to get us into a false sense of security that we're successful doing that, just to bait us into a bad throw or a bad another bad play call, or the quarterback thinking that he may have this window and it'd be closed because he thinks that now they're focused on the run. They'll give up those runs. It's like they're picking their poison. That's the poison they'd rather get ate up against, is the run versus a pass, because the pass is the biggest threat against those teams. So defensive coordinators are always looking to stop our pass first. They don't care about stopping our running game. They want to focus on Tyreek Hill and those fast receivers on the boundaries. So they'll live with us getting 8 yards per carry on the ground with them, and give us that sense that we're doing good in that area. And the minute we throw it, boom, that's when they tighten up the screws.
And I like what
they'll
you
crowd
said
the line
there.
of scrimmage and bait us.
Crypto, I like what you just said there. They're taking away the receivers on the boundaries because they had the middle clogged. They're not worried about throwing over the middle, and Tua is too small to see over the line. Unless he moves, he can't see, so he's got to throw it outside.
Right, they're forcing the passes on the boundaries. They'll say, "Okay, we'll give up that one big one to Tyreek, and then that'll be it for the whole game." They were like, "Oh man, we finally broke one open." I think they're willing to live with that, as long as it doesn't happen often. They're just trying to reduce the amount of time occurrences that it happened.
I agree.
Because we had the one long touchdown to Tyreek, and then what happened the rest of the game? They forced us in those areas, and we weren't successful in throwing it in those areas.
And that's where the head coach has to make adjustments.
And Charles is right with his comment. You have to use the run to wear down the defense and make them commit so the pass game works. And I think that's true. I think it works both ways.
Our West Coast offenses, we pass to set up the run.
Right.
We throw it enough times so we can have an opportunity to run.
But he has a point on that. And I mean, I think it does work both ways, like you said, Crypto, but he has a point there. Like you can't be one dimensional. That's like the main, that's not what got us to the dance. What got us to the dance was bringing in all the guys, lots of people touching the ball.
Let me get Pedro. Pam, I want to get Pedro in here. I want to get your thoughts, Pedro. You joined us. I'm happy that you joined us this evening. I want to get your thoughts.
I don't know. He's got no shirt on. He's got to be cold up there.
No, he's in the hot tub in his tent.
Cold.
I'm sorry, I can't sit up or anything. It's like 10 degrees outside if I lift my head up in the canopy, but it's about 102 it's 100 now in the hot tub, so I probably got like 15 minutes before it hits 97 and I bounce back inside the house. But we had the most snow we've had in 30 years before the blizzard of 93 that hit 15 inches. We had 9 inches, and I've been stuck at home in Snowmageddon 2024 for 3 days.
Snowmageddon.
Now, about the Dolphins, I appreciate, first of all, y'all let me on the show. I'm going to be quick, and I'm going to bounce. I want to be on the positive side, because there's two sides to debate the whole offseason. 4 consecutive winning seasons for the first time in 38 years.
It's a good point. Good point.
Okay. And
the
lots
second
to
one-
do because to me, the positive side is Tua gets better and better and better every season stat wise with everything. Like he played 17 games. My goodness. He just now the sticks keep moving back. And of course, it's going to keep getting there until we get to the Super Bowl. I love Marino. Don't matter about the stick and not winning the Super Bowl, but it's almost done. Like once Tua wins a divisional game or the playoff game, then the sticks is that's it. But we was 3 minutes away because of the Titans. Man, my wife's a Titans fan. I was 3 minutes away from making that phone call and going to Miami. And and we all know what happened. That was on the defense, and that was not on Tua. And the rest is history. We lose to the Ravens. We lose the last 3 when we only dropped like 1 game, and we'd always overcome it the whole season. So there's lots to fix. Lots to do this offseason to get better. Lots of people to re-sign.
Well,
and that's it. I'm done talking. Good season, but there's a lot of bad. Tua's 1-6 against playoff teams. We know that. And Mike McDaniels combined is 3-11 the last 2 seasons. So, and Tua can't win the primetime games and the cold weather games. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Pedro. I got one more positive thing. You were correct on your prediction, 11-6.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that was my prediction for the record.
And how could it not be 12 or 13 games next season when Tua's going to improve somehow this offseason? I don't know how, but he's going to figure it out because the jiu-jitsu worked, bro. Everybody that said he couldn't make it 17 seasons, boy, are they not saying anything, right? Lots. And the half of the fan base is still against Tua. Half of the fan base is for supporting Tua. I'm cool with the debate in today's world. That didn't happen back in Marino days because it wasn't social media. It's all different now. And it's cool to debate and have fun with Tua's stats, but stats don't win us Super Bowls. And we just won a playoff game, and I thought that was going to happen this year, but I don't even think we could have won, even if we would have made it, because of the fact that we lost to the Buffalo Bills at home. So what makes us think that, what if the Texans came to us at home? We would have won that game, really? We were just depleted because of injuries, and I don't know how to fix that. That's something for them to figure out. No. But let's get more physical, in my opinion. I love the small speed, but we got to get more physical, bro, just in case we do got to go back to cold weather next year, because it's either that or playing at home and kicking butt. And that's the way to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Win that division. And we was 3 minutes away. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm still having nightmares. I'm done.
We love you, Pedro.
I love you too, man. Appreciate it.
Peace, love, and fix up, Pedro.
With the PH, by the way. With a PH.
Yeah. Always.
I tell you,
the Gators are still a poverty franchise.
The Vols beat the Gators in men's basketball.
Go Gators.
Sorry, Shane.
Don't say.
We beat you in football.
Yeah, but FSU beat the Gators
many times.
I said FSU beat the Gators.
Oh my Lord! I got plenty to say about that.
Can I say something about the Heat statue with Dwayne Wade real quick? Please, just the Heat, Dwayne Wade, Mr. Miami, because he won actually 4 championships and deserves that statue. So.
Hey, you never have to ask to say anything, Pedro.
I thought he would have had one already.
Speak your mind.
It's gonna be a nice statue.
He's in a poverty organization, a basketball organization right now. So,
man, the Heat are so good. They've always been. I mean, they're gonna be in it this year. I mean, the Celtics are really good this year.
Best place he's ever been.
But they still got bragging rights, though.
Let's go Sixers.
Oh my goodness!
Don't forget that, like the NBA.
It's gonna be a fun off season. Like if the Dolphins make enough room, like 40-50 million, which they can. There's Ogba. There's a lot of people. Howard, we don't know. I don't know if that hurts us to release him in cap space or to because he won't lower his money. He said in a quote that would you take a pay cut if your boss asked you to? And I was like, oh shit. That's a good answer.
He said that a couple days after the game when he sits down with his agent. His agent says, "Listen, nobody out there is going to offer you anything." take the pay cut so you can stay where you're at and play the game, because he's not going anywhere where they're going to give him big money. He's lost a step over the last year or two.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If he doesn't want to take a pay cut, they'll get more money by releasing him post June 1st.
Yep.
Yep. And he's not going. Nobody's signing Howard to anything near what he's making now. Take a little bit of a pay cut, restructure that contract, and stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need you.
I agree with that.
We need to go all in, man, the next 2 years, because then after that, I don't think we'll be in cap space hell.
Hello, John
but
Fetherland.
it's a restart, because then Tua will be gone. Or it works in the next year or two. Man, we were 3 minutes away from having a home playoff game. Now an off season of they should be on the hot seat, both of them. And it's hard to defend Tua when Tua's Tua.
It wasn't our defense that lost that game. It was our special teams.
Oh man, please fire the coach, man. I will sit there and agree with that.
I don't think you'll find a Dolphins fan that doesn't want the special teams coach gone.
I'm sorry. You got to do something. You got to make moves, man. You can't do the same thing you did the last 2 seasons, or it's going to be a repeat. And everybody knows it. And we all saw it. And everybody else saw it. And I don't want to repeat, but like, if it's going to be with Tua, put the damn necessary weapons in and see if bro get deep as hell at linebacker this offseason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's get deep, baby. Spend money, bro. Do it. I don't care. Create the space and do it, with the offseason. It's going to be fun. I'll be at the draft, I hope. Detroit. Let's go.
Oh, that's where it is this year, Detroit?
Yeah,
man. If Dolphins ain't excited about next year and they don't think that we're going to do better than the 11 that we just did, bro, there's no way I'm going to pick 11. I'm going to pick 12 or 13 based on what we do this offseason. Because we haven't won like 13 or 14 games since we went to the Super Bowl, obviously, in 84. Or, was it 85, whatever. It was San Francisco and then the Redskins. But we broke a lot of records. Let me tell you, there's a lot of records, man, that we broke this season. And Tyreek is a godsend. And we got him for 2 more years. And we got some core players for 2 years. By golly, I don't know. Greer, man, it's on him, man. Oh, God, please. And Vic, holy moly, a top 10 defense. Yes, you did it. I think overall we're top 10, right? We made it to number 10, right? You can Google it, but I think we're number 10.
Is it that high? I thought we were lower than that.
I think we're 10. And overall, if you Google it, I don't know, somebody else can Google that if they got the thing to, but you can look at the top. Didn't we have the number 1 offense we ended the season still with? Number 1?
No, number 2.
No. Who the heck beat us?
Dallas.
The Cowboys?
Dallas ended up number 1 offense.
Yeah, Dallas
and we both
had
got
the number 1 offense
overall.
Yes.
Wow,
and we were number 2, and we both got bounced on the same weekend.
That's another embarrassment right there. Wow, I just a lot of embarrassing moments, but a lot of good. It's just hard to take when you're a good team. That's tough because you got to, the Buffalo Bills have been taking these losses in the playoffs, getting bounced, and this will be year 5 in a row they get bounced. Dolphins got to get to the playoffs, win it, and then do something to get all the way to the Super Bowl, and that's. You got to get there with some players, and this is the worst year for health. 3 starters on defense. That's it. 2 people off the streets. Oh, my goodness, man. I don't know. They got a lot of work to do off season, but I love it. And I think we're going to be badass next year's season, too. I'm going to shut up, let somebody else talk.
Yeah, we're number 10 on the defense.
Thank you. Well, yes, sir.
We averaged 318 yards allowed. Playoff average was 409.
Congratulations, Vic, baby. Congratulations. Do it again.
Playoff game.
And he will be top 5 next season.
48 TDs allowed.
He'll do what you said, Paul. He'll kick ass at the beginning of the year because you didn't think about that it takes time to get the defense to get together. Remember what you said about kicking ass in the beginning with the defense?
Yeah.
And not allowing so many points or something you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out because holy moly! But they started picking it up during the season to these bum teams.
If we can keep a lot of the same guys on defense, I think we'll start off a lot better in the beginning. Of the year.
We got Chubb still. We got some good core players, boy. We got Baker. Is he gone? Save money with him.
Baker might be gone.
Baker will probably be gone.
Yeah, I think so too.
Howard will probably be gone. Will probably be gone.
You got to create 40, 50 men. You got to go shopping in free agency, bro. You got to go to the Super Bowl. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
But I hate getting Cedric Wilson, and I hate getting players that don't work out. It's like the draft. It works out or it don't. It's just
And
please, Greer.
Wilkins is going to be gone more than likely.
Oh my goodness, that's hard to say, ain't it? Like, no, he wants to reset the market. Let another team pay it.
We have Sealer.
Can we match it though if he gets offered? Like, we got to franchise tag him, right?
No,
not franchise. It's the other one. What Tom say earlier?
Transition tag.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means he can be a free agent. He can shop around. We get to match any contract he's offered. If we don't match, we get their first round pick. But the only teams that are going to do that are teams that are still in the playoffs or just missed the playoffs, because New England's not going to offer him a huge contract and give us the third or fourth pick, whatever the fifth pick that they have. So that's not going to happen. It's going to be somebody in the 20s.
We can get a pick for Wilkins?
If we transition tag him and somebody offers him a contract and we don't match it, we get their first round pick.
Oh, Greer, boy. What?
But
that's a good point, man. That's something to think about, is all I'm saying.
We got to do something with that O-line because
he wants to reset the market.
We got to do something with the O-line where we can give Tua more time.
Yeah, 3.5 seconds, not 2.5. Give him another second, baby. Just one.
We need an O-line that can give him anywhere between 4 and 6 seconds.
Yeah, but that's hard to come by, brother. Because
if you do it in the draft, it takes, like Eichenberg, it takes 2 or 3 years.
I understand that, but anything's possible.
Free agency, baby. You get an O-line, 2 of them with some money.
In the NFL.
What do you think, Shake? You go shopping for an O-line in free agency, boy. You get one that's ready to go, right?
Yeah, our offensive line, I would say.
Because we don't have Armstead, right? Or we got
what's funny is,
Armstead's looking at retiring. Armstead's looking at retiring.
He ain't retiring. He ain't retiring with that money.
By the way, you know what's funny is they said the more Tua had to throw, the worse he was.
Mm-hmm. Yep, a good point.
Well, because they practice those timings all the time.
The timing routes, and when the timing routes, teams, it was perfect. Yeah. And the good teams knew how to offset it. Sorry, John.
They said they practice the timing routes all the time where he's releasing the ball quick. And then when he doesn't release it quick, he doesn't know how to scan the field.
Yeah, I don't know if they might release Armstead too, though.
But Armstead's a big cap hit if they release him.
Not if he's released post June 1st.
No, there's I think it's $8 million or something.
But he's only playing half the season.
Oh no, I agree with you, but the problem is the cap hit that you're going to take by releasing him.
We can't be one and done 3 years in a row. Whatever happens.
Look, but when you can replace him with someone who's going to be there for all 17 games,
well, I mean it's highly unlikely anybody's making 17 games. So,
wow.
I mean, look at our roster. How many guys made all 17 games?
Tua did.
Wilkins.
Sealer.
Wilkins.
Oh, Sealer! Wow. Oh man.
Okay.
We got him cheap, boy. Thank you, Greer, for that.
What'd you say?
Good.
I was like Siler did.
Good contract. Love his contract.
Well,
we only had like 3 or 4, maybe 5 guys that made all 17 games out of the 22 starters.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Waddle miss a game? I think he did miss a game, right?
Mm-hmm. Waddle missed several games.
Yeah.
We were decimated in December. Decimated. Yeah, I couldn't believe it happening. We always get spoiled in September and October, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'm
Spoiled.
gonna say
MVP, all that.
Durham Smythe. Durham Smythe didn't miss any games either. Durham Smythe didn't miss anything.
But Waddle came into the season hurt, and he didn't. The whole season hurt.
No, I think
that man, I'm gonna give that man 120% respect for what he did, because he battled through concussion protocol through week 2 and all that. So
no, I agree with you on that, Winters. Yes,
he battled. He just missed games. I mean, Holland missed the end of the season, which sucks.
Chubb
was a huge loss. Phillips.
No.
Phillips huge
probably
loss.
our
Chubb's
biggest
huge loss
at the end of the season was AVG, though. That was a huge loss. AVG.
That's my wife's boy.
Nah, I'm telling you, he is amazing. And
She
what
loves
he
him.
did, flying all over the field all season.
Did they
and
show
to
that on Hard
lose
Knocks,
him-
Pam?
What's that?
Did they show that at Hard Knocks? I haven't seen the last episode. Did they show anything about
I've only watched one episode. I
Oh, I
purposely
got
did
you.
not watch Hard
I got
Knocks. I'm gonna go back and watch it, but I purposely I didn't like that we were on Hard Knocks. I'm not a superstitious person, but I didn't like it.
but-
I didn't like the focus.
Let's put it
don't
this
like
way. I like the show, but I wish it would have been recorded now and shown after the season.
Well, it ain't gonna be us again ever again.
I hope not.
I hope not.
Bright
I
side,
don't
you know,
like
we're
it.
done with that, you know. So
I
Hey,
really
Dolphin
don't
State
want
of
to.
Mind.
What's up,
Welcome
Dolphin State of
in.
Mind?
and it was awesome seeing a lot of the inside stuff I would have never seen in my life, like some like Tua being so cheese happy, bro, about those guys in his quarterback room getting those golf gifts for Christmas, because they cost a lot of money. Those golf, simulators.
Yeah.
It cost a pretty penny. And
Well, hey.
Tyreek and the receivers, I heard, got iPads.
No, but look what Tyreek gave the whole team.
Scooters.
The
Scooters that supposedly went up to 40 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So now we're gonna have guys falling off from getting hurt in this game.
You went exactly where I was thinking to, John. Exactly. That's funny.
Yeah, well, as long as AVG's injuries not too bad, even if he can come back from it, I do believe we need to re-sign AVG.
That's going to be tough.
AVG,
he earned himself a good contract, whether it's us or somebody else. He's getting paid.
He better be a Miami Dolphins.
And 1 year deal, bro. We messed up on that one, man. It should have been a 2-year deal, you know. Now we got to pay up. Y'all right about that. Got to pay the top market because he's going to go shopping.
I don't mind paying him because he really balled out all freaking year.
So did Wilkins. I'm just saying.
Did we have the most sacks?
The man was amazing.
Franchise history, didn't we have the most sacks, or did we have the second most?
It was
I
close.
may be wrong.
Right there somewhere, wasn't it, Pedro? It was close.
It was great.
Trifecta.
It was unreal.
I'm not saying Wilkins didn't ball out, but he wouldn't accept what we offered him in the beginning of the year. He's not going to accept what we offer him now.
They'll bump it up. Because of his what do you have? 9
I just
sacks?
don't know that we can say exactly what happened. I just don't know.
No, go ahead, Pam.
I think he wants to be a Dolphin. I think he wants to be a Dolphin. I think he proved he wanted to be a Dolphin without that contract.
He wants to set the market, Pam. You know what that money is? That's the most.
He doesn't think
that's an incredible amount that'll take hey, at least everybody we sign, like Tua or anybody else, we can move and move money around, right? And make more money open up.
Well, we don't have to sign Tua right now. We had the 5th-year option on him. We don't have to
but if we do, you know how much money we open up with Tua if we sign him?
We don't have to sign him until next year is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. And go either way. If he takes a team-friendly contract like some of these posters saying, you never know. He might take it.
Tua is not taking a team-friendly contract. He's not. After all the shit he's been through and all the press and negativity, he's getting paid.
We got 3 years, Sealer, man. We got him so good. He outplayed his contract, man. He better do that again next year, boy. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
It might be different with Christian Wilkins in that lineup. It will be completely different.
9 sacks, bro. Yeah, we need that run stop. We gotta have Wilkins.
We don't know who's going to take Wilkins' place.
The thing you cannot say is that we need to get better through the draft and then get rid of people we got through the draft whenever they play great and then they need to be paid. It drives me crazy, that statement.
It's a business, Pam. I hear you.
I know, but damn.
Saying, but you can't sign everybody.
God, see that man.
Unfortunately, you can't sign
I want him to get
no attention.
paid. I want him to get paid, but at the end of the day, we all can agree that we still got other places on that team that we have to address. We have other pieces that we have to address on this team. For us to get to the next level, we have to address the things that we need. And that's just
It's
I
true.
honestly think if
not being
we
negative.
have healthy starters, predominantly healthy starters, that we're good to go. Look at what our offensive line did with the coach. I mean, the coach.
I understand that, Pam, but we need more than 2.5 to 3 seconds.
Well,
And that
Jake
offensive
said what
line
I
we
was
have
thinking
is not
as
gonna
well.
get it.
When Tua had more time, he didn't do better.
Worse.
It's those
Because
quick
they
snap
didn't-
decisions that helped
They
him.
did because
But it
they
only
didn't
worked during
work
the
on
bad
that.
teams.
They only worked on having that 2.5 to 3 seconds. If they have a line that can give them the 4 seconds, they can work a little bit different. There's all kinds of options.
I don't know how much.
Now,
I don't know how.
How do we beat the good teams? Give Tua more time, because the bad teams we was beating, in my opinion, because Tua was so fast at it, and these sorry teams couldn't adjust like the good teams. How Kansas beat us? Man, they stacked the box when we tried to run, and then it was cold weather and.
Okay,
But that narrative about the bad teams, when you talk about the so-called bad teams that turned around and beat the so-called good teams, this season, more than any season I've seen in a long time, that you couldn't put the tag of a bad team or a good team because everybody was beating everybody.
and I agree with you on that. But to
Well,
go
what I'm saying
a
is teams
different route-
below 500, Pam. You know what I mean?
But a lot of those
We're
teams
not that
didn't end
anymore,
up
thank God.
below 500,
Thank goodness.
right? Like
Okay. On a different route. I'm going to give my opinion on what I see going towards the draft. That if we transition tag Wilkins and we get another first round pick from whoever takes him, if someone takes him, we're either going to.
Who whispered quarterback?
we're either gonna take those two.
Well, you gotta have competition. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're either gonna take those 2 picks in the first round, or we're gonna trade them up to get a single pick higher up in the first round, or if we don't transition tag Wilkins and we only have 1 pick in the first round, I could see Greer trading that first pick for a veteran player for a position that we need him in.
Well, see, I think Pedro shouldn't have whispered. I think he should have gone like this. Quarterback. And the big lips and the
I actually think if they transition tag him and get another first, I think they're actually going to trade that because we have no 3rd round, 4th round pick. They're going to trade that second one they get or theirs to get more picks to add more guys in the draft because we don't have a lot of picks this year.
Well, we have more than last year, but I understand what you're saying with that. That's a possibility too.
The NFL owes us a pick. They screwed us. The NFL owes us at least 1 first round pick. They just
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to me how we can beat the teams under 500 and beat them nicely. And like I said, just just the whole season was just highlighted by that, and that was fun to watch against the Broncos and the Redskins, and cool games like that, and beating the Jets twice, and beating the Patriots twice, all fine and dandy. And it's just getting over the hump, and then you try to figure out like how do you get over the hump, man, to beat good teams, and it's shoot, they better figure it out this offseason because it has to be the play calling and it has to be a combination of both. In my opinion, it has to be Mike McDaniels and Tua are attached to the hip, and the defense is going to be great next year. So we're going to do the same thing. It's just I'm glad we're not playing a playoff team the last game because it can't be the Bills. It has to be the Patriots or the Jets, and they're not a playoff team. So hopefully we got the division locked in next year and we play a home playoff game because that's the road to the Super Bowl, and that's up to Tua. He ain't got much time left. because everybody that wants him gone, it takes everybody. You got to start over again, don't you? You just can't get rid of two. Or does Mike and Greer stay? That's a lot, but they got another year, no matter what.
Well,
So
I don't
to
like
that
the
goes.
whole, crappy team narrative. I don't like that because first
I
of
don't
all,
like
the
it either, but
Broncos
unfortunately,
The
didn't
it's
end
true.
Dolphins
up,
have to change that though.
but
Right.
Pam.
but
but elite teams lose to crappy teams. Oh my goodness, do they? The Buffalo
the
Bills lost to the
Broncos
Jets
didn't end up under
and the
500
Patriots.
for
I
one.
mean,
We
And how
lost to the
many times
Titans.
did we go up against the Jesters and they said, well, the Jesters defense are so great and the Dolphins are going to lose to them? No, we didn't. We swept them. We swept them last year. They talked about the Patriot defense and how good they were, that we were going to lose. You look at these narratives that these experts come up with. They didn't come to fruition. They just didn't. They were those teams were under 500. But the Broncos weren't under 500. I mean, and I'm trying to think who else. I mean,
The
yes, there
Broncos
were
were.
some.
They were.
The
When we beat
Broncos
at the
weren't
time we
under
played them, they
500.
were, but not during the season. They overcame that.
I mean,
They
and
became
No, I think they
above
still
500.
finished under.
They
at
did.
the
They
end.
finished under. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
they were 8 and 9.
Well, look at that. Yeah.
Look, and the reality, ladies and gentlemen, we face Aaron Rodgers next season also. Y'all got to keep that in mind.
Right. We'll be
Aaron
playing them
Rodgers.
twice.
Well, with the
With
damn
their
Jets.
actual starting
Let's wait
quarterback.
and see because he's still got to play in that turf. He might blow his other Achilles out.
I have no fear of that.
I'm sorry, I laughed.
Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers. That's a good one, Shake, because
No, I want to beat him fair and square. Let me get that straight. I want him healthy. I want Rodgers. I want Tua versus Rodgers. Let me get that clear. They better not get hurt. Or nobody get hurt. I don't ever wish that, obviously. I like beating people fair and square.
Right.
And we beat Brady a lot fair and square. A lot.
We did a lot.
And we did more than any other team in the NFL.
Anybody else in our division, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, it's 10:22, and I know I want to wrap it up. I mean, I
gotta get up
I got to
early.
be up at 4. I know John needs to be up. John, do you have any final thoughts since you got to be up?
I don't think I can go to work.
Disappointed the way it ended.
Yeah, you don't want to see the snow. I'll show you the snow.
Don't want to see us be the Dallas of the AFC. Win enough games every year to get to the playoffs and lose in the first round.
Yep, we've already cemented
that.
Well, the last 2 years, yeah. Win enough to get there and then lose in the first round. And, that's what Dallas does in the NFC. Win enough to get to the playoffs and lose in the first round.
Yep.
Well,
Hey, what is that?
look on
What
the
is
bright
Dallas
side.
That's why I called our game the mirror match when we played them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I look on the bright side. I don't think we're the Dallas of the AFC. I think we are now the Lions of the AFC.
I was about to say that.
The Dallas Cowboys. They're 1-6 in playoff appearances. The last 6, only one.
Well, the Lions,
So,
they
I don't wanna
broke
do
through
that.
their purgatory by winning a playoff game.
But they were 0-6 as well too, or 0. God, I think it was a lot. I got to look that up, but it was a lot that they lost in between, right? They made a couple appearances.
Oh,
Not
and
double
11.
digit, but
11.
really, right? I mean, I don't know the exact number, but they lost quite a bit to get over the hump, man. That's why I'm so happy for them, and America's happy for them. America's probably rooting for them.
Yeah.
San Fran or Detroit. That'd be a nice
really
championship game.
if they do what Dallas did, win the whole thing, like in the basketball when everybody's like the Mavericks number one, and next thing they broke through and won.
Are the Lions pretty healthy,
Caught
man?
lightning in the bro.
I don't even know
Touch
how healthy
lightning
they
in the
are.
bottle, and the Lions win the whole thing. I'm gonna really be sick in the stomach.
Hey, what do Cowboys fans do when they win the Super Bowl?
They don't even know. They've never been this
I
far.
was going to say, most of them weren't born then.
They turn
They've
their
never been this far.
PlayStations
They've
off.
never hosted a.
No,
never
they turn
hosted
their
a home
PlayStations
or
off.
division
The
round.
90s.
No, it was the
time he was
90s.
in.
Yeah, early 90s.
Are you
92.
listening to the punchline?
No, wait, we're waiting for it.
They turn their PlayStations off.
Oh, wow.
That's good. That's good, John. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
funny.
Good night,
Peace, love,
all.
fins up, John.
Peace, love, and fins up.
Peace, love, fins up, John.
Yeah.
Fins up. Thanks,
Actually, that's
Papa
what I say
Paul.
about the Hurricanes.
Oh, Crypto,
America's team, America's college team, America's team for college, the Hurricanes. I'm glad to have Shake Money on board. It's been a pleasure. Finally, the crossover happened.
I'm happy that
appreciate
you guys.
Shake Money.
You guys, you guys are family. Y'all are always welcome at any time on our platform. So I appreciate you, brothers. I'll be seeing you guys Friday night for your show. I'll be on there. I know Shake will send me the link to be on
Shake,
there.
you have a show Thursday night though, right? With Larry K.
No, with Lucci, the happy hour.
Oh, yeah. Thursday with Lucci. Okay. Yeah.
Either one
I definitely want to be there.
Yeah, Crypto or Shake. Just send me the link, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate
I'm
you
excited
guys.
about that show.
Definitely. Paul, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just.
He sounds like he's barely hanging on. Papa
That's
Paul,
why.
you need some homemade chicken soup, dude. You don't sound good.
I've already had some.
You need some more.
I told you I got.
Oh, everybody's under the weather. I was under the weather.
You sound a little under the weather still.
I'm overcoming.
Sound a little bit.
Yeah, I'm overcoming it though.
When did you get sick?
It's just the last bit of cough, you know,
Crypto, when
intermittent.
Did you get sick?
No, I wasn't really sick. It was more like a kind of like in and out of the flu.
The scratchy throat and cough. Okay, yeah, that's me. That's all I've had.
No, not a scratch. It's not even really scratchy throat. It's more like a intermittent cough. That's the last remnants of the phlegm in my lungs.
I've had
like
no
a mucus.
phlegm. I've had no phlegm or mucus whatsoever. I've just had a scratchy throat, a cough. Monday, I couldn't even talk though. I had no voice, and it's been that way since the Buffalo game.
Oh, 2 weeks ago, 3, yeah, 2
he
weeks.
He didn't have enough tequila. I know that.
I know that. It's a dolphin flu. It's a dolphin flu.
Yeah.
The dolphin flu.
We should have did another shot of Patron because I was about at least 6 or 7 in by the time I took the shot of Patron with you.
Well, I should have just finished off the bottle.
That was a long day. I'm telling you.
I told you.
Yeah.
I should have just finished off the bottle. I would have been better off.
Shout out to my brother. Shout out to Keith Martini, man. We started early and often.
I know you.
No way.
Yes,
no way.
Yes, way. Yeah, man.
I'm so shocked.
You shouldn't.
I'm not. Trust me.
All right. Guys, you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, just thank you for having me on, and
thanks.
It was a great panel, man. I love chopping it up with everybody, man. Peace.
Appreciate you, Shay.
Thanks for having you guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Love having you on.
It's been a pleasure.
Always.
We love
having
you, guys.
You missed a good one at Sunday at noontime, Crypto.
You said Sunday?
I heard it.
And real quick, by the way, the happy hour, tomorrow in the happy hour, we're gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about me personally, all the good moments I had tailgating and all. I'm gonna load up the pictures with all the the fun the watch parties at with Dolph Freakies, West Coast, whatever,
Okay,
it was a blast,
real quick.
and I wouldn't trade it for nothing, man. You know what I mean? I had a
Real
blast
quick.
with meeting Connie, meeting Pam, meeting Papa Paul, meeting Crypto, meeting my man Dolphins Winter. You know what I mean?
And before you leave, Shake, next year, so I'm changing things up for WCFL next year, so I don't have to worry about anything. All the watch parties are going to be here at my house. $30, all you can eat and drink.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
And there'll be raffle drawings.
And then you're not left to somebody else's screwing you over.
Exactly.
That's just been such a crappy.
Well, I didn't have a watch party for the Baltimore game, and I'm glad I didn't, because I went to the bar, and because of the way the NFL and the local area did everything, the Miami game was blacked out completely. They had it. We missed the whole first quarter because it had to be ended up getting streamed into the TV. So we missed the whole first quarter. So I ended up leaving at halftime because I was already tired of that bullshit. And then I came home and got it on TV at home and all. But it was just, I don't want to. I'm tired of dealing with other people. So we're just going to do all the watch parties right here at my house. We'll have plenty of food, plenty of drinks, and a good time by all.
That'd be smart. Be smart.
So
I just want to say that I love my team. I'll always be a Dolphin fan for life, forever.
Me and you
but
both, man.
I am pissed. They have ticked me off, but I love my team. And I love you guys. Like you guys.
Well, I will say I am
Fins
happy with
fan
the
for
season.
life.
Fins for life. Fins fans for life. Till the coffin slams and then some.
Till the coffin slams, right.
And then I'll be a Fin fan up in heaven.
Right.
Or hell, wherever I go.
With a PH or an F.
Hey, listen. Listen, they were like, how long you been a Dolphins fan? Don't worry, it's time served.
Time served.
You get time off for good behavior. I won't get any time off.
Served.
No, 50 plus years, it's time off for being loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Not a bandwagon jumper.
That's what St. Peter's going to say. Time served.
Yep.
Time served.
Especially if we don't freaking win a Super Bowl before I die.
Yeah, buddy.
I know. Tell me about it. 108 years, man.
When I die, I already have a request that I'm gonna have 8 Dolphin pallbearers so they can let me down one more time.
Exactly, Shake. That's a good one.
I'm just gonna haunt them and have my wife dump my ashes at the stadium.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. What do I want my ashes?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want them inside of something in the water or outside? You know?
No, I told my wife. I said I don't care what I said. There's
or
only
put it
one
inside
thing.
of a tree.
Well, no, I told her there's only one thing I want her to do with it, and actually take some of the ashes and do a painting with it. And the rest of it, I said, for all I care, you can flush it down the toilet.
We're all going there
do a
anyway.
Painting. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You know they can turn you know now they can actually turn them they could turn them into diamonds now. You know that they can pressurize ashes now and turn it into jewelry.
Yeah.
You can become a jewelry if you want.
Nah.
They can pressurize them and turn them into diamonds.
The only thing I want happen to me is to come back as a dog that is as well taken care of as my dogs.
That's what my uncle always said.
Yeah.
Well, if we're doing reincarnation, I want to be a fly in the women's locker room.
I fly in a woman's locker room. They have a short lifespan, so you got to kill you 14 days. You got 14 days to live. So since they got a short lifespan, you got to there.
Hey, just
it could be another fly.
Just make sure it's not during the summertime when there's no one in the girls' locker room.
There you go. And you can't do nothing with it. What are you gonna do as a fly?
Just make me a turtle. They live to about 144 years.
Yeah. Any last words, Miss Pam?
Just I love you guys and thanks for having me on. And I love my team. Go Fins, but y'all done pissed me off now.
Well, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
There we go.
Yeah.
Some people like that.
Unless you're R. Kelly.
That's another story. That's another story.
That's another story. Some people do like that.
Another story.
Oh, Shake.
Mr. Winters, what's your last words, my brother?
Yo,
we're getting a little off kilter here.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all. I'm sorry for laughing, but I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. It's been a long season, but I want to thank everybody that stuck with us this whole season and beyond that, because we're going to have future content, especially with this nice young lady to the right of me, these gentlemen to the bottom of me, and a gentleman to the left of me. We're going to have content throughout the summer and spring also. Might not just be all Miami Dolphins stuff. It will be other stuff coming up as well. So we're working on some things. We appreciate the love and continued support from all of us to all of you. And as you continue to follow us on this journey, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as that being said, and as always, from Papa Paul, myself, everybody on the panel, peace, love, fins up.
Fins up, everybody. Y'all
Peace,
have a
love,
wonderful
fins up.
night.
Fins up.
Stay safe out there and stay warm.
Yes, stay warm.